Welcome to 2Cents FC. I'm your host, Amobi Okugo, back again with my guy, L. Each week, we'll be talking with individuals from around the soccer world, learning about their stories and getting their unfiltered thoughts and opinions. This week is just us. We got a lot to catch up on. We'll be talking about the MLS All-Star lineup that just dropped, recapping the Gold Cup, and Messi leaving Barcelona. Who would have thought? L, how you doing this week? What's going on?
Man, I'm chilling. It's been a busy week, but happy to be here. Happy to get these opinions off.
Yeah, I feel you, man. How's it going? Like back to school, everything gearing up with the kids and all that?
Yeah, man. All the kids are back to school. My youngest daughter just started first grade, so she was super excited about that.
What a blessing.
My little guy, my 1-year-old, started daycare for the first time, so that's been a huge adjustment. He was born during lockdown, so he don't know nothing but us. So trying to socialize him has been like crazy.
Yeah,
but he'll get over it. He'll get through it. He's kicking and screaming every time we drop him off, but eventually I think he'll settle in.
No, that's what it's all about. Real quick, I know we got our topics that we're going to discuss, but obviously Atlanta made some news. You've been on the front lines on Twitter talking about different things. In a perfect world, who would you guys go with as a coach?
Obviously what we've been doing hasn't been working.
Yeah,
I'm in favor of trying an MLS coach or a coach who has experience with the league.
Mm-hmm.
I like I can't think of his name right now. Homie from Seattle.
Oh, yep. Pineda. Yep.
Yeah, Pineda. I think he could be a potential good look, although it would be his first job. But I'm hearing like similar to like Mikel Arteta, he's kind of like not really the mastermind, but he's like the engine.
Yeah. He's
how
Seattle's
running right now. So and I like how Seattle plays. So I would be open to that. I'll be cool with that. Like really, this season is a wash anyway. Next season will probably be a wash as well. Like we really just need to like get this ship together and get our shit together. Feel me? Like from front office all the way down. You know what I'm saying? We're bringing in players with no coach, and like it's just a shit show, to be honest. But I like the way we've been playing though since we fired Heinze. Like it seemed like the boys been playing with heart. They've been fighting into games. Like we haven't won, but like we haven't folded when we going down in games. You know what I'm saying? So even last night's game, going down like what was it 2-0, and being able to fight back to a draw, even going down a man, like that game was a shit show in itself.
No, facts. I think the best thing to take from it is that Joseph is back to scoring. And obviously with his injury, him coming back and like standing up for the group, he's really come on as a leader for Atlanta. And obviously that situation with the coaching and locker room culture and all that stuff. But for him to get back to scoring, I think that's one of the most important things. That's what made Atlanta special. So we'll see what they do with the coaching thing. But I would say, Pineda would be a smart decision. I think they do need to make a little shakeup in the front office. Earlier this year we talked about that article that came out. Yeah, you might have to do that just to get something new. But we'll see.
Yeah. It also, I think word on like Atlanta United Twitter, like it's always kind of split with Joseph himself being kind of a coach killer to a degree. So I don't know what's happening there, but could he possibly be scaring off coaches, like just with the way that his relationship has been with Heinze, and then I think DeBoer as well, like in choosing a player over a coach and kind of him having too much power within the organization, I think can be a red flag for some new coaches coming in.
No, that's true. And a lot of coaches have already declined, the Atlanta job for whatever reason. Yeah. And that makes sense. Like no player is bigger than the club unless you're Messi. And we're going to get into that later. But yeah, Joseph, he's like that, but he's not like that when it comes to, all right, we're going to pick the coach over a player, so it'll be interesting to see.
He's the king of Atlanta, man. Like he has the heart of the fans. So
yeah,
where the fans go or where Joseph goes, the fans go. You feel me? So
yeah.
And we've seen that with this last situation.
Yeah, that's true. And like for any players, if you win the heart of the fans, you get a lot of leeway. So any players that are listening, make sure you figure out ways to become a fan favorite. Obviously, your play on the field is the first and foremost way to do that. But then like what you do with the community as well. So it's hard when, the fans love you and it's like a neck and neck race about, are we going to keep this guy or get rid of this guy? It always tends to be the fan favorite that stays. So yeah, just note of advice when it comes to how to politic in the game of soccer.
For sure. And you would know better than anyone.
Yeah, low key.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these topics. MLS All-Star squads dropped recently. So if you don't know, MLS All-Stars will be playing the Liga MX All-Star. So this could be the beginning of a much talked about merger, if you want to talk about that. So beginning to integrate the leagues and getting, the fan bases used to dealing with each other. I think this is a pretty dope kickoff for that. I'm actually excited to see the game and see how our All-Stars hold up against theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's going to be real interesting. And I know they're trying to integrate the league. I just don't know how that's going to happen because there's so many teams. So They would have to be a situation where it's like, all right, top 10 from so-and-so league versus top 10 versus so-and-so league. But then they would have to open up the league again in terms of West versus East and just have it open. Like you play each team a certain amount of times. Or I'm not sure how they're going to figure that out.
Yeah, that's a huge map.
Yeah.
Between North America and Mexico.
Yeah. So we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see. They're gonna find a way to finesse it. So
yeah,
that's one to watch for real. But let's jump into these rosters. Let's look at the MLS All-Star rosters first.
Okay.
I'll be the first to tell you that I don't watch a lot of Liga MX, so I don't know who the players are on that side, but we'll go through that as well.
Yeah.
But first off, let's look at these forwards and wingers. So we got Gustavo Bo.
Yeah, he's been probably one of the top players for New England, who's leading the East. So makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
Then we got the young boy Tejon Buchanan. He's been killing it.
Yeah, he's a young killer. Rumored to be leaving pretty soon, so this could be a send-off game, similar to how Davies was the All-Star before he left to Byron. So yeah, he's gonna be leaving on big money like very, very soon.
Yeah, for sure. You got K Cal from San Jose. So you got a lot of young boys up front.
Yeah.
Made the team this year.
This was a commissioner's pick, so I obviously want to highlight their homegrown initiative. He has been playing well. I'm not sure at the All-Star level, considering where San Jose is placed, but young international has a lot of talent. He's going to be a future star of the league if he stays in the league that long. That's how much talent he has. So, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you got to have Chicharito.
Yeah. I mean, voted in or not, he was going to be a pick because he's been killing it this season. Great for the league. They're playing Liga MX. It only makes sense.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Got Nani.
Yeah. He's been killing it. Yeah, he's been killing it.
He's been getting off, though. You got Ricardo Pepi, coach's pick.
Yeah, coach's pick by way of a couple phone calls from MLS. They made sure, hey, use one of your coaches' pick on this young boy. But to be honest, like in terms of his strike to minutes played ratio, it's probably top of the league. Great young player, has a lot of potential, has been getting looks from overseas. Dallas just realized that they do better when he's playing. So hopefully they keep doing that. I don't know why they wouldn't play him. So hopefully we can see him on the national stage.
Okay, here we got Diego Rossi. No brainer there.
Yeah, no brainer.
Along with Raul Ruiz-Diaz. That man has been a thorn in my side. Every time we play Atlanta, he's saucing us up. So definitely a fan of his game for real.
Yeah, he's a killer. He doesn't
have him in there.
Yeah, he's a killer. He knows how to score goals wherever, however, whenever.
All right, we got Daniel Saloy. I'm not forgetting.
Yeah, Saloy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another coach's pick here from Sporting KC. What do you know about him?
Yeah, young player. He's good. Last year he had, I don't want to say a down year, but it wasn't as productive from a stats standpoint. But if you look at the little bio, like You know, he's played over 150 games already, has about 30 goals, double-digit goals, double-digit assists. He knows how to take his chances. And, like, it's funny because Bob Bradley's the coach, and they just smacked him 4-1 last game, and he had a goal, and I think he had created a couple other chances as well. So another young player in the league that's, you know, well, not so young, 25, but he's doing really well. MVP candidate. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He's leading in terms of like combo goals and assists. He's leading the league.
Okay. And then we got the obvious Carlos Vela.
Yeah.
So, though him and Chicharito are the face of this All-Star game, so it's got to have.
It was always going to be, yeah. Facts.
Jumping to the midfield, we got Edward Atuesta from LAFC.
He's one of my favorite midfielders in the league. Coach's pick, you know, Bob Bradley rates him highly. Obviously plays for LAFC, but, you know, non-bias aside, he's probably top 3, top 4 midfielders in the league right now.
Yeah, dope.
In terms of D-mids, yeah.
Got Carlos Gil. Man, New England is heavy.
Yeah, New England is heavy.
On the team. They're balling out this year, though, so
yeah.
it's only right.
So Carlos Gil, I mean, damn, you got 15 assists on the season already? That's more than double any other player. Yeah, he's a big reason why they're doing so well right now, and it's only right that he gets voted in as an All-Star.
Yep. Next up, we got Damir Kreilach. Surprised to see a Real Salt Lake player. Like, they've been quiet this season.
Yeah. They've been quiet, but Kreilach has not been quiet. He's been their best player since he's come on board for like 2-3 years now. And he's an LAFC killer, so I think Bradley wants to just meet him in person and like maybe probably try to recruit him over or figure out a way like, yo, why do you specifically keep killing us whenever you guys play?
Yeah, let's see. We got João Paulo.
Yeah.
Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, another top 4 midfielder, D-mid in the league. Obviously, when Alonso left, you know, they've always been looking for that like replacement. Roldan has been doing the job, but, you know, João Paulo has come in that D-mid spot and like just he's been a killer. Been a great signing for them.
The quietest kept is saying about in the bio they just finished his loan with the option to buy. We're starting to see a lot of Brazilians come into the league.
Yeah.
Like over these past couple of windows, you know, Brenner, Atlanta's linked to one. We also have what's my guy, Rossetto, on the squad as well. So that may be the next Argentina when it comes to
the next pipeline.
The next pipeline that we're rating. All right, next up on the list, they got Emmanuel Reynoso, another coach's pick.
Yeah, so I haven't been watching a lot of Minnesota, but apparently he's their star player. So I'm not sure. Minnesota, they're like up and down in the standings, but apparently Bob Bradley rates him highly as one of the top players of the season.
Oh, for sure. Christian Roldan, fixture in the league. Yep. Got another baller here, Lucas Zelarayan.
Yeah, he probably one of the coldest number 10s in the league at the moment.
Yeah. Cold on them free kicks.
Yeah. Him and Carlos Gil, the top 2 right now in terms of attacking mids.
Yeah, I've had a chance to see Lucas up close when I went up to Columbus. Dude was a baller for real. Him and Tejan, I went up for the
New England when they play New England, right?
Game. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so if you go to the 2Cents FC Instagram page, check out our what do you call them things?
No, highlights.
Our reels. Check out our reels.
Yeah.
We got a reel of Tejan Buchanan shushing the crowd after a goal. So check that out. All right, defenders. They got Julian Araujo, another coach's pick from LA Galaxy.
Yeah, young player, young talented right back, dual international. So it'll be good to see how he performs at this big stage.
All right, got Jesus David Murillo, another coach's pick from LAFC.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think he's an all-star in my opinion, but you know, I'm not the coach, so he's been doing well. But let's see.
I mean, his coach picked him. So.
Yeah,
a little nepotism there, but
yeah.
You got Nuhu, Seattle Sounders.
Yeah, the people's favorite up in Seattle, but he's done well. Seattle do right by Nuhu and give him a new contract or let him go overseas. It's more than deserving at this point in time. Uh, yeah, now he's like cemented himself as a solid defender across the board. He's been a tremendous key cog to why they're excelling right now.
Yeah, for sure. Then we got my guy, Miles Robinson. I don't know why he's a coach's pick. He should have been voted in. Like, sounds baller. And if he hasn't cemented himself with his Gold Cup performance, which we'll talk about next, then you're just a hater.
Yeah, you just hating or you're not watching.
For sure. Alex Rodon.
Yeah, key player as to why Seattle's doing well. He's playing like at the right wing back, right back's position, gets up and down the line, puts in great crosses, and I think it's great to see him and his brother both make it. I think it's the first time that's ever happened, and it's funny because he's like he made a smart decision. He went to go play for El Salvador. He's like, yo, let me become an international. I'm not trying to wait around for U.S. Yeah, it'd be cool. I'll maybe get a cap or two, but all them right backs that I got to compete with, let me get my 50 plus 100 caps with El Salvador. Maybe try to make something happen in one of these qualifyings or something like that. Way to look out for your career.
Next up, we got James Sands. So this is another guy that cut his teeth during the Gold Cup as well from New York City FC.
Yeah, young baller. So I had the chance to train with him when he was younger, when he was at residency, and I from the moment I got to train with him, I was like, yeah, this guy's different. You could just tell, good head on the shoulders, he doesn't shy away from the work, doesn't shy away from the big moment, and his ability to play both positions. I can see why now. Obviously, NYCFC made some other key moves, but I can see why they were willing to get rid of Brad Ring, or wasn't it Alex Ring or Brad Ring from Austin?
Alex.
Yeah, Alex Ring. Because Sands can do the job and he's only going to continue to grow. So I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be in the league, but as long as he is, definitely appreciate him. He's a great player.
Yeah, for sure. We'll put him on our list, our Gold Cup list for whose stock went up.
Oh, definitely.
We'll speak on that in a minute. Next up, we got Kai Wagner, Philadelphia Union, another coach's pick.
Yeah, he's been probably one of the better left backs. Would say my guy Ryan Hollingshead should have got a nod as well, but Kai Wagner, his consistency over the last 3 years since he's joined the league and joined Philly has been tremendous. Gets stuck in, does the job. He's just a solid player all around.
Cool. We got Yemar.
Yeah, he's been a beast this year. Him and Nuhu have led Seattle to a great start, and he's solid.
All right. Then we got the Walker Zimmerman last up for the defenders.
Yeah, I mean, Nashville, they don't give up a lot of goals, and Walker Zimmerman is a big piece of that. Tough to beat, great in the air. He's like the token American boy that they want to market as well. So it just all helps. And, great player, great guy, great spokesperson for the league.
Yeah, hopefully he's healed up. I mean, he had to leave the Gold Cup. So,
yeah, he's going to heal up. He wants that All-Star bonus,
All right, let's jump into the goalkeepers. We got Pedro Gallese voted in.
I mean, he makes some great saves. He's done a great job this year. I would have picked probably Brad Stuver, even though Austin's second to last place. If you watch Austin's games, they could be in a lot worse position had it not been for him. Other than that, yeah, I think it's a fair pick though. He's done well.
Yeah, Pedro is one of those goalkeepers that, even though he plays for Orlando, he's one of the ones that I wish we had on the roster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? You was talking mess about y'all's goalkeeping situation the other day. What's up with that?
I mean, I think it's time for Brad to move on. You feel me? Alex Can has held us down in Brad's absence since the beginning of the team, since the inception of the team.
Yeah, he's been solid since the jump. Like,
yeah, he was a starting goalkeeper before Brad came in, and he held us down these past couple games while Brad was away at Gold Cup, and I think we should have stuck with the hot hand because I think Brad looked a little rusty. He gets stuck on his heels a lot, and that's something like he's a liability when it comes to that sometimes. So I think we need to go with the more youth. I know he's a little older too, but he's the more youthful of the two.
Yeah.
So I think we really should stick with him.
How old is he? Like 28?
He's like late 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Goalies, he's prime years right now as a goalie.
Yeah. But Brad is like damn near my age. So I think it's time to move on. Like, like Atlanta, they're known for going for the big names. So I think it's time for us to slide on out of that one. And
I just think it's like you don't really have to pay a lot for a goalie in MLS.
Yeah.
You do not have to pay as much as you're paying Brad. I'm not trying to count anyone's pockets, but in terms of if I'm building a team, this is GM Amobi talking, I'm not spending that much money on a goalie. No, there's no way, especially the amount of goalies that Americans produce at a high level.
There's a lot of talent like this next dude, Matt Turner.
Right. Great podcasting right there. Great segue. Yeah. Matt Turner, young baller, just a great shot stopper. I think a lot of times when you see goalies, at the end of the day, it's all about how you can stop shots. And he does a great job of that. And he also commands his box, gets off his line. And he's been the best goalie, probably since he's, it's like locked down that starting spot over in New England. So excited to see, him kind of get this recognition that he deserves. Gold Cup was there for him. He got Golden Glove at that tournament. So hopefully he can continue. And I know there's talks of him going to Europe possibly. So, we'll see. He's 27 too. So it's the best time to go as a player.
Yeah, we'll circle back on that when we talk about World Cup qualifiers and the men's national team squad going into that segment. But let's jump over to the Liga MX team and see if there's any standouts over here that we can kind of pull out. So for their forwards, we have Alexis Canelo, Andre Pierre Guignac. I know him.
So he's been a big baller. He's just coming back from the Olympics with France. They didn't really do so hot, but he's been a key reason why Tigres is like how they are right now. Great player.
Got Rogelio Funes Mori. I'm familiar with him as well.
Yeah.
From all of our Champions League games against Monterrey.
So he's actually American. He came up in the FC Dallas Academy, or he did like the Sueño FC Dallas tournament. Him and his brother, which is funny because his brother plays for Argentina. And he naturalized to play for Mexico, obviously in the recent Gold Cup. So interesting to say the least, but going to be exciting to see him come back and play for Liga MX.
Yeah, for sure. You got Santiago Munoz and Jonathan Rodriguez to round out the forwards. In the midfield, we have Pedro Aquino, Fernando Goriron. Forgive me, my Spanish is bad. Angel Mina, Luis Montes, Guido Pizarro, and Luis Romo.
Yeah,
you stand out to the midfield.
I know Luis Montes is a baller. He's been in and out with the national team. Great player. Pizarro is a baller with Tigres. Hasn't really got that like Mexican national team shout, but he does the job. If you watch Tigres every now and then, he's the one controlling the midfield. To be honest, I don't really know much of the other players. I know Cruz Azul just recently won the title, so probably Luis Romo had a key part in that.
Yeah, it says best defensive mid, so he was a baller. I'm sorry, missed a couple. We got Ruben Sambueza and Diego Valdez to round out the midfielders. For fullbacks, we got Juan Escobar, Jesus Gallardo, Fernando Navarro, and Salvador Reyes. So any standouts here?
Gallardo, he's a Mexican international. He does well every time he plays against the U.S. when he's on. To be honest, no standouts that I know. I know Juan Escobar. I'm not sure if he was there when we played him this a couple weeks back when we had a friendly with them with Austin Bold, but no standouts that I know of.
And then for the defenders, we got Pablo Aguilar, Matus Doria, Victor Guzman, and Cesar Montes.
No, so Pablo Aguilar, obviously he's recognized as being one of the best defenders. I know he's really popular. A lot of people were screaming his name when we played him in the friendly. I don't even think he played though. I think he was resting. So yeah, that's all I know.
All right, and then William Tecillo. They need to space out these ads.
Heineken ads, man. I got to get there.
For goalkeepers, we got Jesus Corona, Memo Ochoa, and Alfredo Talavera.
Yeah, so all Mexican internationals at one point, all solid. I know Ochoa, obviously the most popular, most well known, but both other goalies are going to be have had solid careers as well.
Nice. And then head coach Juan Reynoso Cruz Azul.
Yeah, so they just won the league, so it only makes sense.
Yep. For sure. All right, so that should be a fun game. Very looking forward to seeing that. When is the game again?
It's like it falls like on a Wednesday or something, right? Super weird. August 20.
August 25th.
Yeah, right. That's on a Wednesday.
I don't have my calendar up.
Let me check.
If you got a calendar, you can.
Yeah, August 25th, Wednesday.
That's weird.
Yeah. Good luck getting fans. We'll see how that goes.
Right. All right, so let's jump into this Gold Cup final recap. Super dope game. Went into extra time. Got an extra time win. Cross from our guy Kellen Acosta with a header from our guy Miles Robinson. So MLS boys standing up, bringing a trophy home. So with that said, whose stock do you think went up from this team based on this tournament?
Oh, based on this tournament, I'll go down the list. Kellen Acosta, Miles Robinson, Matt Turner, James Sands, Christian Rodon, Shaq Robinson. I want to say some other people, but their stock's already pretty high within the team, so I don't really have to say. And then I guess Jossie, because a lot of people, at least from the media perspective, I think he turned over a lot of heads from the media perspective. But coach has always rated him highly. He used to coach him, so he knows what he brings.
Yeah.
So outside of those picks, I would say Eric Williamson to a certain extent and Busio to a certain extent, but I think coach would probably need to see more of them. But in terms of like those big moments, like really showed out, those first like 6-7 people I named for sure. So Kellen Acosta, Miles, James, Matt Turner, Shaq Robinson, Roldan, and yeah, that's my list. Oh, and the young boy, Hop. Yeah. Yeah.
No, don't get me started on him. All right.
You not rating him?
Let me back up to Eric and Busio real quick. Yeah. So Eric Williamson, I think he definitely got my attention. I've noticed him like playing for Portland, but never really followed his game because I don't follow Portland as closely. But watching this tournament, like I really like his game. He's super silky. Reminds me of Nagby a little bit, just the way he holds onto the ball. So I really enjoy his game. Busio already pretty hyped with the move to Venezia on the horizon. We'll see if that happens. But I don't think he stood out as much as other players. I'll be the first to admit I'm not familiar with Shaq Moore, so it's good to see him get some run. Miles definitely. If you weren't familiar with Miles, you're definitely familiar with him now. I think George Bello, when he got in, showed that he can hang. Another young boy from Atlanta. So I think that helped his stock as well. He's been rumored with a move to Galatasaray, which I don't think happens this window.
I don't think that's the team he wants to go to.
Yeah, but I think he came back a grown man after this tournament.
Yeah,
like that's the type of games that he needed to be in to like really build his confidence up, because he held his own against Mexico. You know what I'm saying? They put him against one of the fastest wingers that they have, and he held it down. So, who else? Definitely Sands. I think everybody you mentioned, I'm with. You know, we already kind of knew what Matt Turner brought, but I think he put himself in contention for the number 1 spot up against Zach. So that'll be interesting one to see. That'll be interesting one to see. Who else? Kellen Acosta balled out.
Yeah.
Like, get that man out of Colorado ASAP. Like, you can come to Atlanta, bro. Like, get him out of Colorado. That's
Colorado. They top 4 in the league, right? But it's just, you're not really. You need your star players and star cities, you know. And you know, Kellen. Obviously, we're gonna have to get him. I'm gonna have to get him on the podcast for us at some point, on the show rather, because he has a lot of things that he's doing outside of football that we can definitely touch on. But yeah, you need someone like him on like a New York and Atlanta and LA. You know, Colorado's just not doing it.
Yeah, Kellen, tap in, bro.
Yeah.
Let's get to Matt Hoppe.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tailor this down a little bit, but dude rubs me the wrong way.
Just like his attitude, like how he like.
And all right, so this could be stereotyping. So I'm doing a little bit of like genealogy and a little bit of what's the word? Archaeology, whatever you want to call it. Thinking about like where he's from. Yorba Linda, Orange County, his attitude, the way he kind of like presents himself on the field.
Yeah.
Especially the way he was acting towards the Mexican players. I could be reading too much into this and be reaching, but he just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And there was like a little highlight on Twitter saying like Matt Hoppe is, you know, next up or whatever, something like that. And it was showing all his blunders, essentially. So like, I think he may be a little overhyped at the moment. You know, he may have started off hot, but I feel like he's a little too big for his britches at the moment. Like, you need to settle down. You just got here and nobody knew who you were before this tournament. So like, chill out a little bit, you know?
I think it's just because he's a young kid. He got a little bit of swag to him now, because, you know, people are starting to recognize him. So with that, his chest is going to be a little bit more puffed up. But from the standpoint of like him being like kind of like that, you know, I don't really give, like, he's like, I don't really give a fuck who you are. I'm going to do like what I'm trying to do. That's kind of what I like about him. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie.
But it also kind of reeks of privilege to me a little bit.
Yeah,
he's that attitude.
He's like one of them little SoCal club boys. Like, they get spoiled. Like, growing up from California, I could say that because like I used to play with kids like Hop all the time. Like, if you foul them, they're gonna cry home and like, it's my ball. We're done playing. But then when he's like fouling people, he's like gonna be talking mess. Like, that's kind of the vibe that you get from him. But from the standpoint of like young player, like, all right, I don't really care. Okay, I can respect that a little bit, but yeah, you do got to watch out from that standpoint as well.
Yeah, I mean, Fam was a liability on defense, especially that game. Like, doing more fouling than anything. But back to my original point, like, you know, forgive me for stereotyping, but I hope he's not how the vibe that he's giving me. I hope he's not that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just put it like that, because I know BB from Cali as well. I know that type.
Yeah, that's true.
And then especially where he's from, we know about Orange County. If you're from California, you know Orange County is a pocket within the like you know. So so that's my opinion on him. He hasn't impressed me. So that's how I feel about him. But enough about him. Let's talk about World Cup qualifiers. So this MLS heavy team has shown that they can hold it down, you know, in the tournament stage and win trophies, just like our more international team won a Nations League trophy. So during World Cup qualifiers, this gives Berhalter a lot to pick from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who from this Gold Cup team do you think makes the World Cup qualifier squad?
To be honest, like, yeah, the Gold Cup win was good. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but qualifying is still like a whole different beast, especially if they're going to let fans come to the games. Like that away travel on top of season, like 3 days here, that's a grind that like I can't even speak to because I've never been in that situation from like a World Cup qualifying standpoint. Like youth World Cups is cool and all, but it's not the same. So before I start by like Amobi's hella negative, like nah, I'm just like putting some context to the situation. But in terms of like if I'm Coach Greg and like who I trust in those moments, it's still only going to be a few of those players from Gold Cup, even no matter how well they did. So Miles Robinson for sure, I think he can hold his own. He got that dog in him. Kellen Acosta for sure, he's already been proven. He has the experience of being part of the last qualifying that didn't make it, but he's grown a lot since then. Giassi, put him in that category. Matt Turner, just because he's a goalie, and he's a steady goalie. Outside of that, I mean, Shaq. I mean, there's so many right backs. So like, while he is proven, like I think he can hold his own. He's not going to play over Dest. He's not going to play over Yedlin. He did, however, like showcase like if Cannon's like wishy-washy, we could bring him in. So outside of that,
Cannon gets that slide over Shaq.
I still think off name. And then depending on how they do like individually in their clubs. Who
Where
else?
does Shaq play? He plays over in
he's in
Belgium
Spain
or something like that. Spain?
I think he's in Spain. Yep.
Okay.
At least last I heard of him. Sands as a center back, not in qualifying, just because like he did make a couple big mistakes that he was able to recover from, but qualifying, I just think like you 1-2 mistakes in a game, you get punished. So I'd have him on, like he could be on the roster, but I still don't know if I put him in the game as like coming in as a starter or even as a sub, unless it's like to close out a game. Who else? I mean, obviously Sebastian's already like locked in, so you can trust them. Christian Roldan could come in, play a lot of different roles. Williamson could come in, can do the job, but it's like you got Adams.
Midfield.
Yeah, you got Weston, you got Musa, but you always do need those like American, or let me not say American because everyone's American, but those MLS guys that can come in and just like grind. And I think Eric Williamson can be one of those guys that may be like, all right, you're going to help us get to the World Cup, but sorry, we're not going to take you to the World Cup. There's always a couple of those guys. Unfortunately,
it's a cold game.
Yeah, it's a cold game. It's happened to the best of us. But there's always those guys that like, you're perfect for qualifying. But when we get to the World Cup, hopefully, knock on wood, we don't got a spot for you.
Yeah, if you think about it, you would think that the MLS guys who play Champions League would be some of the best suited guys for qualifying because you're playing some of those same countries.
Exactly.
You're in those environments. You're in Honduras on a Thursday night, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Enemy territory for real. So they have experience playing in those environments that I think the European guys, the guys who are based in Europe, don't necessarily have and don't necessarily get on a regular season basis outside of, national team play. So
yeah, you're right.
They're perfect for qualifying.
Exactly. Like, and we're not going to be expecting Sergio Dest to be like doing his flicks and tricks when they're playing in Guatemala or Jamaica, when the field's purposely, the grass is a little heavier or there's bumps in the field. Like, that's an adjustment that people don't know about that they're going to have to make. And sometimes the European based players can handle it. Sometimes they don't. And that's where the MLS guys or the domestic guys come in and like just get the job done.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So yeah, best of luck. When the qualifiers again? Is it next year?
No, it's this next month. I know they come to Austin in September. They play Jamaica, so it's a quick turnaround. So hopefully they're ready.
Did you get tickets? I know them
yeah,
tickets.
I got. I'm gonna get hooked up with those tickets. Shout out to whoever's going. Yeah, shout out to the plug. So we'll get that sorted, and then try to support them versus Jamaica, and we'll see how they transition to the other teams and other games that they got.
All right, for sure. All right, so it's the end of an era, man. End of an era. So Barca recently announced, actually they announced today that Messi will be leaving the club. Twitter is on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so the question is, the big question, and I think we've asked this question in past shows, like, where does he go next?
Low-key, I think this might be like a marketing ploy for Barca to try to, like, figure out a way for Messi to come back. Like, see the reaction, take a pay cut, or I don't know. Because until he signs with a new club, I still don't think it's going to happen. But Chelsea's the perfect fit for him. We got the pieces to transfer over if we need to, like, even though he's a free agent, so it's not like we have to give Barca anything. But in order to get some of the deal done, or we need to make some money to make the money to pay for Messi, we have the pieces to do it. So Chelsea.
Nah. Neymar was teasing PSG. I think, that could be a reunion over there. I think Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe.
I mean, golly. That team's too stacked.
It's not fair. And they got Di Maria still.
Yeah, they're gonna have to play a 2 in the back, 2-5-2-5-4.
No defense, just vibes.
Yeah.
Man City is obviously another one. A Pep reunion.
They just paid $100 million for Grealish. Imagine Grealish going there and getting a 10.
But Messi's coming over on a free though.
Yeah, true.
They got money for salary.
Yeah.
So.
Grealish just got the number 10 and he just gives it up a week later.
Yeah, so that'd be an interesting thing to see, like, where exactly he goes. I honestly don't want to see him go back to Barcelona. I think he's given them enough. I always like to see, what happens next.
Yeah.
Like we've seen these last few years, Messi's been tired, run down. Like he's given them his heart and soul. I think he deserves better. I think he deserves to go somewhere else and, finish out his career there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see where he goes next.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But you think he goes to Italy? Nah. Someone said like AC Milan, but I don't see that happening. You got to go to a team that's like guaranteed Champions League, guaranteed like PSG.
Yeah, I feel like PSG is probably the move. I don't know if his relationship with Neymar is stronger than his relationship with Pep. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wants to relax for like the lead up to World Cup. Whereas Pep, you're gonna have him doing like 3 sessions a day, film study for like 4 hours. You're like, man, I'm tired of that. We already had that in the past. Let me go for the vibes at PSG.
Go to PSG with Pochettino, got an Argentinian coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good problem to have. Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Messi, Verratti, Sergio Ramos, Marquinhos, Kimpembe.
I got Ramos signed with them.
Yeah, they got. Oh my goodness, they got the goal. It'll be like the Harlem Globetrotters. They got everybody out there.
Yeah, it's almost guaranteed Champions League right there. Because they've gotten far.
They've been to the final. They've been to the semis last 2 years. They went to the finals 2 years ago and then semis. Yeah, I would say, golly. Yeah. Whew. Damn. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. All right, so let's jump into no card, yellow card, red card. So for those of you who aren't familiar, no card, yellow card, red card is a rapid fire game that we play where I'll read off some news headlines. It could be soccer related, pop culture related, doesn't matter. But we'll give our opinions on those headlines using the soccer card system. So no card is I agree with it or I'm cool with it. Yellow card is I can go either way. And red card is obviously I disagree or I'm not cool with that. And we'll give, since we don't have a guest today, I will play today. And we'll give our opinions we'll give a little explanation of why we gave these cards. So first up,
Red card. I don't have to hear it.
If you've been on Twitter today, you may have seen a post from the Juventus women's social media account that's very racist. It's an image of one of their players with an orange cone on her head and using her fingers to slant her eyes to mimic a person of Asian descent. And as of this recording, I believe the post is still up, regardless of, the millions of comments, the massive ratio saying how racist it is. So what card are we giving all parties involved with this? I think it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, definite red card. It's like, yo, what's going on? And it's always Serie A doing stuff like this. Like, how did you guys come up with not only the idea to do it, then the wherewithal to post it? Like, it was like, okay, it's just, even the player, like, all right, yeah, this sounds like a great idea. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, what is going on? I just don't really understand.
Yeah, red card, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even really need to explain. Like, we all know why it's a red card.
Yeah. Then they're going to hit you with the, like, half-hearted apology saying, oh, we were trying to do something from a marketing standpoint and missed the jot the ball up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Enough of that. We won't get that no more shine. So next up, we all know that this year has been like a massive year in terms of the amount of games that players have played. So we had the entire season plus the Euros in the summer and Olympics. And for example, like Pedri has played 70 games this season. That's just for club, not including country. And so should clubs be managing their players better this upcoming season? Because we're probably going to see a lot of injuries. So what card are we giving this situation? Should teams like Barca, PSG be managing their players? Actually, let me rephrase that. What card should we give clubs for managing their players this season?
I would give a yellow card, but like for this situation with Pedri, it's tough because he's like the next best thing to come out of Spain. So obviously they need him for the Euros. Maybe not let him be a part of the Olympics, but beforehand, I don't think anyone thought that he was going to have as good of a season that he had with Barca this season. So probably Euros wasn't in the question. And you can only do the Olympics, every so often. So it was just like a by chance situation, but hopefully moving into the next season, he gets a long break after the Olympic finals. I'm not sure when it is. And he gets to show up to preseason late and, take some time because 70 games over the course of the season, jam-packed because of, COVID rescheduling and different things like that. These miles add up. You're going to see a lot of soft tissue injuries over the course of the year with some of these international players that played the whole league season and the international tournaments and friendlies and different things too. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, you need some rest at some point.
Yeah, Richarlison for Brazil played Copa America and the Olympics.
Yeah,
on top of the Everton season. So
yeah,
I'm gonna give it a yellow as well, because I think the cap should have been put on them before they even got to this point. So understanding what guys have miles on them and who doesn't, and not allowing them to play all these games, especially from a federation standpoint. Like, there's no reason why you should have dudes playing, Copa America and the Olympics allowing that. So I'll give it a yellow. So now it's in the club's boat to manage these players. So it's not 100% fair to them because now you're potentially jeopardizing their season by having a big player out for X amount of time or having to manage their minutes. So yeah, yellow on that one.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Danny Alves, by the way, 38 ball in Olympics finals.
For sure. How the hell is he still playing for the Olympic team?
You get 3 overage players.
Okay.
Yeah.
That shit is funny. Like, Richarlison came in bagging hat tricks in the first 30 minutes. Like, shit is not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair at all.
All right, last one. So Harry Kane's not showing up to training. I guess he's trying to force a move away from Tottenham. And he hasn't received much backlash for this. And Rio Ferdinand pointed out that the energy would have been different had this been somebody like Paul Pogba. So what card are we giving English media for their treatment of this Kane situation? Or lack
thereof. Yeah, I would say red card. Like they are so wishy-washy when it comes to who they're gonna like protect and who they're not. And let me not actually say wishy-washy. They're so like direct actually in like who they support and who they there's a lot of bias there. And yeah, like Harry Kane cannot do any wrong. Not to say that he's not a good player, but like the way they treat him is like, nah, compared to like if Sterling were to do that or if Pogba were to do that. As a player, I'm all for saying like, try to force your move or get what you want. But to the standpoint of like not showing up for training, I don't think you have to do that. And, it's not really about Kane in this situation, about the media. Keep the same energy across the board. That's all I say.
Yeah. Red card. Clear bias.
Yeah.
Kane can do no wrong in their eyes, and I can't stand dude. So
he does come off as a little bit of a.
I can't stand him for multiple reasons. Obviously, being an Arsenal fan and playing for Tottenham, and I don't like his dirty play.
Yeah,
I don't like how he undercuts guys during aerial duels to draw fouls.
Yeah,
he's gonna break somebody's neck one day, and he never gets called on it. So trash. Super trash. A red card. Don't be making concessions for this dude. He should get the same treatment as everybody else.
Yeah,
he was mid during the Euros. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your ass out there and train, bro. Like, be a leader, be a captain, and train until you get the move you want. You know what I'm saying? Prove that you're committed to the team that you're at. Until, this ain't the NBA. We're not doing holdouts.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. That'll be interesting. I think probably negotiations might have got quiet with Messi's news, but we'll see.
Yeah, crickets.
Yeah.
Messi, Kane.
Yeah.
What would you pick?
And so that's it. That's our show for this week. Make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us get discovered. We're growing by the day. I know last week I jumped the gun, said we're closer to 100. But each week we get closer. So keep supporting us. It means a lot. Follow us on the socials at 2Cents FC. Check out our merch at 2centsports.shop. As you can see, Elle is rocking the hat right now. Make sure you get yours. And if you enjoy the show, consider dropping us a donation using the link in the description. It helps support the show. It helps support the costs associated with the show. We try to give you guys, the great streaming, get good guests, all that stuff matters as we continue to grow our show. And then tweet us your comments on the show.
All that stuff costs money too.
Oh yeah, all that stuff costs money. It's frugal out here. And tweet us your comments on the show and any topics you want me or Elle to discuss. We're not sugarcoating anything. So if you want us to talk about, topics, we will talk about these topics and give you guys our unfiltered thoughts and opinions. The only place you get 2 cents information.
And also, before we go, make sure you check out the site 2centsports.com. We got a fresh feature up there on Simone Biles, written by the homie Fletcher Sharp. So we're getting into our editorial bag. So definitely make sure you tapping into the site, checking out the articles on the site. Sign up for 2 Cents Weekly, which is our newsletter. So you'll be tapped in every time something drops. You'll be first to know. Oh.
It's all growing. It's growing.
Hey, brick by brick.
Yeah.
All right. So till next week.
Yeah.
Peace out.